IEBC has been accused of deliberately postponing elections in Azimio presidential candidate Raila Odinga's strongholds. Unpacking his petition at the Supreme Court, Odinga, through his advocates, indicated he was disenfranchised and his votes suppressed. Odinga indicated IEBC Chairman Wafula Chebukati orchestrated the plot that led to low voter turnout in his strongholds of Kakamega and Mombasa counties, depriving him of critical votes in the presidential race. Let's get more from our very own Sam Ogina.
Building up his case before the Supreme Court, Odinga described the postponement of polls in Kakamega, Mombasa, and 4 other parliamentary elections as a deliberate, systematic plot to deprive him votes from his traditional strongholds in the presidential contest, a scheme allegedly hatched by the electoral agency's chairperson.
This is not a mistake. This is a very calculated, very calculated subversion of forethought.
In postponing the 2 gubernatorial, 4 parliamentary and 2 civic elections, the IEBC claimed a mix-up of ballots, a position contested by Odinga's advocates.
He plans this, does it on the last day, doesn't explain what those conditions are which make it impossible.
The averment is that the error on which the IEBC relies upon, or the chairperson relies upon, that led to the cancellation of the result, was one of willful neglect.
To further sink the Electoral Commission and its chairman, the split at the electoral agency came into play. Odinga's legal team relied on Commissioner Irene Masit's affidavit, who claimed Chebukati and the CEO, Marjan Hussein Marjan, failed to ensure proofreading of ballot papers, resulting to the mix-up. That, in fact, there was no commission meeting, as was in 2017, to forestall such a mistake.
To the extent that that admission is made by a commissioner, we submit that we are supported or find corroboration to our complaint that the cancellation of the vote in the areas in which we have complained about was deliberate and not accidental.
All we are saying is that there was suppression and therefore voters were disenfranchised. You're cancelling an election at 8 o'clock at night on the 8th for voters the following day. You can imagine the confusion. And what was the reason for the confusion? A mix-up in ballots.
Odinga decried the cancellations not only suppressed his votes, but also disenfranchised his political strongholds. The net outcome was Odinga performing dismally in his traditional political bedrock. The Azimio leader cited failure of Kim's kits and late opening of polling stations as late as 1 p.m. in his zones without extension of voting time as schemes deployed to undermine his candidature.
In Mombasa, where there was no gubernatorial election, the voter turnout was 44%. In Kakamega, with a national tally of 65.4%, the total number of voter turnout was 57%. Those 2 counties were way below the national tally.
Consistently, the Kim's kits appeared to have failed in the same region, in the strongholds of the first petitioner. It cannot be coincidental that only faulty Kim's kits were sent to the petitioners' strongholds.
The judges questioned whether the voter suppression allegation only affected the presidential votes, notwithstanding the country went to 6 different elections on the same day.
So it's 6 ballots into 6 ballot boxes. What we have then is 6 different elections, but on the same day. So if your argument is voter repression, then is the voter repression only to the presidential election? Or is that an argument that can be used by an MCA in Kakamega County to say that because the gubernatorial elections were cancelled on that day, my MCA votes have also been affected?
The defense teams take to the stand on Thursday. Sam Ogina, Citizen TV, Nairobi.
All right, Sam, thanks so much for that.